And today, the Panama Canal faces ongoing threats. The United States of America will not allow communist China or any other country to threaten the canal's operation or integrity. To this end, the United States and Panama have done more in recent weeks to strengthen our defense and security cooperation than we have in decades. That includes our meeting today and announcements to come. China-based companies continue to control critical infrastructure in the canal area. That gives China the potential to conduct surveillance activities across Panama. This makes Panama and the United States less secure, less prosperous, and less sovereign. And as President Donald Trump has pointed out, that situation is not acceptable. China did not build this canal. China does not operate this canal. And China will not weaponize this canal. Together with Panama in the lead, we will keep the canal secure and available for all nations through the deterrent power of the strongest, most effective, and most lethal fighting force in the world.
The White House has confirmed it will impose a 104% tariff on Chinese imports. The US president believes China wants to negotiate, but has not yet called to schedule a meeting. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt announced the additional sanctions will begin at midnight tonight, US time. That's about this afternoon, our time.
It was a mistake for China to retaliate. The president, when America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104% tariffs going into effect on China.
The US will prioritise trade talks with its allies, but says countries are lining up to speak to Trump. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent will be part of the team heading tariff negotiations.
In total, since the Liberation Day announcement, nearly 70 countries have already reached out to the president to begin a negotiation. Countries are falling over themselves to reform their unfair trade practices and free open their markets to our country.
Sky's David Blevins has more now on that White House press briefing today from DC.
It was last Wednesday when President Trump imposed a 54% tariff on goods coming into the United States from China. China then reciprocated early yesterday morning, imposing 54%, and he is now doubling that to a total of 104% in tariffs imposed on China from midnight tonight. That'll be 5 a.m. in the UK tomorrow. It'll be fascinating to see how the markets have responded to that news. Really, Caroline Leavitt spent most of that press conference defending his Liberation Day tariffs. She said countries were, and I quote, falling over themselves to negotiate, that the phone was, and again I quote, ringing off the hook. She said almost 70 countries wanted to talk about a deal and gave examples of Israel and Japan. She also defended the paradoxical position of the president, saying the tariffs are non-negotiable, but encouraging people to pick up the phone and talk to him. She said she had spoken to Donald Trump just before the press conference, that he is of a mind that China wants to have a deal and has to have a deal, but when a country punches, he punches back harder. Again, that's a direct quote, because she says they've been played as fools for too long now. And yes, as you point out, there's been much talk in the media here in the United States today about what appears to be a split in the ranks of those around Donald Trump, with Elon Musk, his close advisor, describing his economic advisor, Peter Navarro, as a moron over their very different views on trade and tariffs. Caroline Leavitt's response to that is, be grateful that we are the most transparent administration in history. In other words, that we are airing our dirty linen in public. And she says also we should note that it shows a willingness on the part of Donald Trump to listen to views on all sides.